going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video today. This is kind of going to be another off-the-cuff, unscripted video, just talking about something that I feel like there's not enough understanding around, and that would be trichotillomania. Now, what I'm talking about is compulsive hair pulling disorder, and there's started to be a little more attention on it with shows like Obsessed, having done episodes about it, but I feel like there's not enough understanding as to what the actual cause of the behavior is and what it actually is like to have it. And I feel like I would certainly be qualified to talk about that. I've been dealing with trichotillomania pretty much my whole life. I'm not trying to position myself as an object of sympathy, nor am I trying to say that I'm a success story or a role model, but I do have, reasonably full beard and relatively intact hair and eyebrows, and that wasn't always the case. So I feel like I would be as apt to talk about what it's like as pretty much anybody else. So when I looked into the disorder, and when it first came on my radar, I just heard the name of it, and I just heard that, I think I was learning about psychology at the time, so I learned about different disorders, and I found out that there was a compulsive hair pulling disorder, and I said, all right, there's no question that I have that, because I have not understood for my whole life why I feel the need to pull on my hair all the time, and if there's one hair out of place, it becomes an obsession for me to remove it. And that, of course, leads to other hairs being out of place that I need to eradicate, and it's just a completely endless cycle. And unfortunately, it's something that's caused me more anxiety throughout my upbringing and confusion and embarrassment. And when I looked into it at the time, they said that they weren't sure if it was something related to OCD or if it was something Tourette's related. So, like, instead of just compulsively swearing out loud, my tic was that I would need to pull on my hair. And seems to be getting more play as just a function of anxiety, type of disorder related to anxiety that the person might be experiencing. And I could definitely see how that could be the case, because just getting ready to do this video, I just sat here and ended up just absent-mindedly pulling out like probably close to 100 hairs, to be honest. Now, I was extremely lucky because I'm Italian and my genes lend themselves heavily towards quick and full hair growth, as you can kind of see. So the rest of my body is very hairy as well. So I had quite a number of places to pull from when I felt the urge to do so. So thankfully I was shielded from a lot of the outward appearance issues that a number of other people experience. And it seems to be largely female that get the attention for this being an issue, and I've seen some very severe cases where they pretty much remove their entire eyebrows and large portions of their scalp become bare as a result of this. So I easily could have been in that same category. I'm just very grateful that, again, I had so much hair and so many different places to choose from. But constantly, actually the first place that I really noticed that I was doing this, if you exclude the picking of scabs, because that was always a huge thing for me. I guess when I was really little and didn't have a lot of hair to really take my attention away from it. But the first thing hair-wise that really started to drive me crazy was actually my eyelashes, which was really unfortunate, but that was the case. I know that was the case for a lot of people that have dealt with this. And just the hairs sometimes getting tangled, or it just became very distracting, and I found myself constantly pulling on them, pulling them out, and it was very noticeable to people, obviously, because it threw off their perception when they would look at me and see like a bald spot on my eye, and again, just extremely unnerving to another person. So I had a lot of people that made fun of me for it, and it didn't really hurt my self-esteem necessarily. I was just very confused as to why I was doing it and what I was doing, and it didn't make sense. But I just said, this is just my habit, this is what I do, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And I graduated to my eyebrows, and a lot of people were very confused, and they thought that I would shave my eyebrows. They thought that maybe it was a cosmetic thing that I was trying to do, just trying to look better. And no, it was just a habit of mine to just pull on them. They're actually kind of uneven right now for the same reason, but it's something that I've gotten a better hold of throughout the years. So, but over the teenage years, my eyebrows would be extremely thin, if not close to non-existent, and you could also see it growing back above the eyebrow, which was very unsightly. And it was just a very strange thing because I didn't understand it and I wasn't able to say, you know, hey, I have a condition or whatever. Even my parents and my family and especially my close friends, but especially, you know, my family was right up there too, just kind of ragging on me for it. And again, just kind of not understanding it and just thinking I was trying to go for a certain look or something. And it definitely impacted my social life for sure, my dating life, absolutely. I mean, you know, this isn't a woe is me type of discussion here whatsoever. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It certainly could have been a lot worse. Again, I'm grateful that it only reached the degree it did for me because I know a lot of people have had it more difficult with this disorder. But at the same time, it's like you know, a very awkward thing when you're at family gatherings or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, Rob shaves his eyebrows or whatever, and it becomes a topic of discussion, and it's like you're not even prepared to tell them like, yeah, I mean it's a compulsive tic that I have. I mean it's a behavior that I can't really control, and so learning that it was a condition. I mean, I was never formally diagnosed, but I mean, you guys can see like I'm touching my beard like every so often, and that might be distracting for you to watch, but it's much more distracting for me to have the beard and touch it. But there are days when I just want to completely shave it off, but you know, it's part of my persona, so you know, I try to live with it and deal with it. But you know, every single day, especially when I'm idle, when my hands aren't really occupied or I'm not really doing something active, then that's when it hits me the worst, and I feel like I gotta just go at a certain area of my body, whether it's my stomach or the hair back here, or you know, trimming my mustache. I did another video, and again, I'm not trying to talk about my facial hair like it's something that anyone should care about, but just trimming my mustache became an obsession. There have been times where I've pulled out my mustache and everything, and you know, people would tell me, oh, you know, that hair is not going to grow back. That hair on your eyelashes that you pulled out is not going to grow back. So I'm just thinking like, okay, well, am I just going to look like a freak forever? Like, it was just a very confusing thing for myself and everyone around me. So I just wanted to kind of talk about the condition and what it's like, and some of the things that I guess I could say I found a little bit helpful. I still deal with it every day, and I don't really let it affect the quality of my life anymore. But if you are happening to see this video and you don't have Trich, then you know, maybe you know someone who does, and you can kind of understand what they're going through, and just kind of the fact, maybe even better than they do, just the fact that they can't control it. It's something that becomes so intensely distracting. If you're having an episode of Trich, then it becomes so difficult to ignore that. It's usually a particular hair, or like I would walk by things and see a reflection of myself, and see hairs that I thought were out of place. It's almost like a body dysmorphia thing. Like in real life, the hairs aren't drastically out of place at all, but in your own mind, in your perception of yourself, it is obsessively off place. And if I would see, again, the eyebrows, I know for a lot of people are one of the most severe areas, and that's definitely been my experience, but a lot of people would see or rather myself, I would see like a reflection of my eyebrows, and I would feel that one eyebrow was thicker than the other, and then that would basically change my whole outlook on my whole day, as far as like, I got to do something about this, I got to start pulling on this and evening it out. And it's such an OCD thing, because I do have symptoms of OCD in other aspects of my life. Like I do feel the need to check things certain amounts of time. Like I like to check things in groups of 5, and basically I try to like eliminate all reasonable doubt in my mind that I've checked something enough times. So I create these systems in my mind to try to remove that doubt, and just say like, okay, I checked this 5 times, I checked this 5 times, I checked this 5 times. There's no way that this can't be all set. And then finally I can move on, but I deal with that anxiety, and I deal with those symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety, and it manifests itself in my case in pulling on hair. So again, I just wanted to share some information, some firsthand experience. This is, you know, I already gave you the disclaimers. I'm just kind of talking off the cuff here, but when it comes to things that have helped, again, just trying to keep myself busy, keep my hands occupied, and just keep myself distracted from the urge to pull definitely helps. And you know, I have some natural benefits for being a person with a lot of body hair and facial hair. But if I had a message to anyone watching, again, if you're someone who doesn't have it, maybe you can help someone who does, or just understand the behavior of someone that you know better. But if you're someone who does have it, it may feel very shameful and very embarrassing and hopeless, but just know that there are a lot of people who've overcome it and made really good strides with it in their lives. I would say I fit that description to an extent. I'm still working on it. But, I would love to be like a competitive bearding champion. I don't know if I even have what it takes to do that, but like win like a beard pageant with Trichotillomania. It's just a thought that I've had. I mean, again, I don't think that like my beard is spectacular, or that I have what it takes to win, but just it would be a nice story, you know what I mean? So I kind of have turned it into like a motivational thing to an extent. And it may feel like you won't be able to say, I have a full head of hair, or I'm pull free for a certain amount of time, but just don't give up, don't fall into a dark place. I mean, it kind of like prepared me for being an entrepreneur to an extent, because I was used to people just having no idea what I was doing and why I was doing it, and just learning to kind of tune that out to an extent. People are going to have their criticisms the same way, when I chose to not work a job and start a business, and everyone had their ideas about the way that I should behave, and it's not any different with Trich. People are going to have their ideas about your behavior as far as, you shouldn't pull that, it's not good for you, whatever. But, they don't understand what you're going through, and, there are people who are, and maybe some of them can help you out by sharing their experiences and some of the things that helped for them. So, I don't know if there was any value that I was able to bring on this subject here. Again, I didn't really prepare for this video. It's just a topic that I wanted to talk about because, it's near and dear to me, and, certainly other people out there I know that may be watching. So, again, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. My name is No Job Rob. I usually do videos every day breaking down different strategies to make money online, but, psychology is something that's very interesting to me, and again, it's very relevant to my life, and I know the lives of many others, and if there's anything that I can do to help in that regard, when it comes to different conditions that people may be dealing with, or barriers that are taking them from reaching the next level, then I'm happy to talk about it and try to bring something helpful along the way. So if you got anything at all from this video, just be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Again, I do videos every single day, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. This has been No Job Rob, and have a great day, everybody.